Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We are on day 2 here, just hanging out at Snowdrop Tundra, seeing what comes our way, and we are going to start off with 5,587 sneaky snacking, and as promised, we are going to talk about Drifloon and Drifblim a little bit later, but we'll get into that after we get done with everything else, and we're going to grab a small dream cluster to round up. That really should be a medium for ending our reward stamp card. And we're going to get 200 sleep points. That's going to put us at a grand total of 2,004. And for our daily lottery, we can pick up hopefully something very nice. Some biscuits would be very good. 15 diamonds is even better. I will take that. No worries there. 505. That gives me enough room to buy a good camp ticket. But we did just get the good camp ticket as a premium gift a couple days ago. So don't really need one. It's kind of loosened up how I feel about spending my diamonds on bundles and stuff, but it is always good to have them and good to have a decent stockpile in case something comes around. We are gonna get probably a snoozing type yet again. No, it is balanced this time. My balanced sleep is completely unbalanced now, so that's fun. Okay, well, it is the first sleep research of a new week. I did get lucky, got an extra tasty for dinner, which was, I forget how much it was. I think it got me about 90K, but we did get 15.5 million, a bunch of 1 stars and a 3 star. Okay. Or no, and a top belly. Another Swablu. What else we got? We are already up to 7 spawns, but it's going to take a hot minute for us to get to 6 spawns. We got to get to 65 million drowsy power, so we got a ways to go. Oh no, I forgot I did use an incense last night just to try to get something that we were looking for, as well as get a little bit of extra dream shards and XP. We got the 3-star Slakoth sleep, and that was the incense that I used. We also got Eradicate, a Riolu, a Swalot, Eradicate, a Swablu, and a Togepi. Very nice, not bad. Not bad for our first sleep research of the week. So we did only get 6 natural spawns, but we've still got a ways to go to get to that 8th spawn. Slakoth is hungry, even better. There we go. Honestly, out of everything here, that's the only one I'm really worried about catching, even though everything else has been fed already. I'm really only worried about the Slakoth, so I'm just going to feed it the premium biscuit and we're going to move on. We're going to try to stockpile some biscuits a little bit unless we find something we are just like really looking for. So we'll feed the Slakoth, we'll take that home, and we'll move on. Because not really a whole lot else here that we are in a high priority need of at the moment. So let's go ahead and move on. And we can send out... Actually, what candy are we going to send out today? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really too sure here. It's either Swablu or Slakoth. But yeah, there's no ingredient specialists that are going to be beneficial. Everyone will get mad at me if I send out Eradicate. If I send out the Eradicate picture, I will probably lose almost all of my friends if I do that. Swalot, maybe. Gulpin Candy might be good. You know what? I don't think it really is a huge deal today. We'll send out some Swablu candy, help out. I really don't think there's a very good choice here. It's just kind of, I got what I got, and there's not really a great choice. We are, however, going to get about 3,400 dream shards in total, so that's pretty good. Not bad at all. All right, let's remember to actually swap over to the right screen today. Level 14 in Lax. I don't think that's what we're looking for. We did get tomato, honey, tomato. That's a weird combo. Ingredient magnet, of course. Ingredient finder S at level 10. Not what we're looking for. Skill level up M is pretty decent. Helping speed is pretty decent. Inventory up also decent. And energy recovery bonus. Main skill chance down is not what we're looking for. So yeah, this one is definitely not gonna be something we keep. It's a berry specialist that has none of the right skills at all. Even though slacking is a pseudo skill specialist, we could use a slacking for that, but this is not what we would want if we were gonna do that. We really would want that helping speed at level 10, skill level up M at 25. If that were the case, this might be all right if ingredient finder swapped with inventory up S as well. but that nature just kind of destroys every chance that we would turn this into a slacking. So honestly, we're not even going to look at this. This is just going straight to the professor. This is so bad that it doesn't even warrant rating. I don't even know what I would rate it as. Berry strength, expected skill count, total strength. I mean, this is just that bad. So good thing we only used our premium biscuit on it. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully. Let's see what we can do today. Another 236 sneaky snacking. Any new news? No new news. But we do have new community reports. So there's going to be a decent amount of them. About 46. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 that doubled up. Oh no, that's not good. All right, well, not too bad, I guess. That is low odds, but we typically have very good odds on the double candy, so I can't really complain too much. That would be kind of greedy of me. I can complain about the amount of potatoes there, and that's exactly why we need to get Masquerada to level 50 as quickly as possible. However, that amount of oil is actually kind of middle of the road for my Toxicroaky. Usually gets me a bit more than that, so maybe a little less than middle of the road. Double trigger on Dedenne. That is what we want to see. Instantly doubles that base extra tasty rate, so very good there. Gonna grab some Stuffle candy and hopefully a skill trigger and plenty of corn, because my Beware is just insanely busted when it comes to corn. 20, and that's on the low side. So I'm very lucky with my Beware. Gardevoir, another double trigger, starting off great. When I went to bed last night, everyone was around 40% energy, so that tells you just how much Gardevoir was slacking yesterday, but maybe that's a sign of turning things around, Gardevoir. Anyway, let's go make breakfast. Let's see if we can get something juicy going on. We do have a 1 in 5 chance. Slowpoke tail pepper salad is not good. We did not get the oil that we needed. Uh-oh. Well, how much oil do we have? 20. We're too short. Too short. So far that subskill seed gamble not paying off just yet. I was really hoping that would be exactly what we needed to get to where we didn't have to worry about this, where we were going to get the amount of oil we needed all the time, but it really looks like we're going to have to get him to level 60. So we've got 2 Pokemon that we desperately need to level up. 1 to level 50, 1 to level 60, in order to really increase their ingredient output. But for now, we're gonna make I was gonna say the gluttony potato salad, but this is just too good. I don't think I can pass this up. Let's keep our potatoes where they are. Let's throw in about 10 apples, 15 apples, whatever. About 11 sausage. I'm trying to just kind of use up some of these extra ingredients, but still keep a decent amount in case I need to save them for next week. Well, let's go ahead and do this. 1 in 5 chance. If this does go extra tasty, that wouldn't be the worst thing. It didn't. So, not great, but 23,296 is pretty decent. At least we got the extra tasty for dinner, so that's fine. All right. That out of the way. We are... Where are we at right now? I don't even know what rank I'm at. Grade 2? Does that put us at grade 4? Where am I at? Oh, I'm at grade 3. That definitely puts us at grade 4. Almost halfway to grade 5. So we're in a pretty good place. We're in a pretty good place. We are about to do a thing, though, that could make this a little bit more consistent. I know one of the complaints about Dedenne, even though I've used Dedenne to great effect, and I've said it before and I will continue to say it, my Dedenne is suboptimal. If you have a much better Dedenne that is more optimal, you will get better results than I did, and even I was averaging around 1 extra tasty per day, which is way better than what I was doing before Dedenne, where it was, I would get lucky to get 1 or 2 a week. So definitely increased my strength gains by having Dedenne on the team. But in an effort to make those strength gains a little more consistent, since we still have not caught a better Dedenne, we are going to change things up a little bit, and we are going to see how our experiment goes with Drifloon. Like I said yesterday, we will talk about him today. I tried looking into it to see if anybody had a concrete answer as to what the spit up rate is, and the best I can tell is it's a range somewhere between 15 and 30%. Some people are saying closer to 15 to 20%. Some people are saying around 25%. I think the highest I've seen is 27%. So basically, that means that we just don't have a concrete answer. I did check Raynon to see if they have it. I imagine that as multiple Pokemon end up with Stockpile as their main skill, as we get newer Pokemon, we will have different spit up rates. I think that's possibly how it's gonna go. But just in case it is a set rate for Stockpile itself, I did check the main skills section as well, just to see if it was set for the skill versus set for the Pokemon. Neither of them give me a spit up rate. I tried finding it on other sites, couldn't find it anywhere, at least not a concrete answer. Like I said, everything I'm finding is somewhere between 15 and 30%. However, anecdotal evidence that I've heard from people who have told me their experience with Drifloon and Drifblim, granted a lot of this was during the Ghost Week, so the skill triggers are going to be a lot higher during that week because they had a 50% chance of getting a main skill trigger. I still think that even though that's the case, we should be able to still see some pretty good results. With this Drifloon, once we evolve it into a Drifblim, it is going to have the double skill trigger. It is unfortunately not going to have any skill level up from the sub skill, but we can invest a main skill seed into it. And at the very least, we can see that our Stockpile is going to be at a minimum 1100 every time we get a spit up. But with the spit up rates being that low, I think realistically we can expect around 4 or 5 on average Stockpiles before we get a spit up. So I think we'll be a little bit better in that regard. I'm not going to invest super heavily into this Pokemon just yet, simply because we don't have the concrete numbers on the spit up data, but I want to invest in it over time if it proves itself worth the investment. Kind of like we did with Gardevoir back in the day. When I first tested out Gardevoir to see if it was going to work, I invested a little bit in it, and then once I saw that it was triggering as often as I wanted, then invested a little bit more. I think we're going to do the same thing with Drifloon. We're going to invest in it a little bit, and invest in it more and more over time as this experiment pans out. That way, if it doesn't pan out and this is actually looking like a bad idea, we can abort and we didn't waste too many resources. But for now, we can go ahead and swap in. Let me go ahead and back out so that we can get him on the field and start getting skill triggers, possibly. Maybe we'll have one by the end of all this. However, we do need to first evolve and level it up, because it doesn't do us any good until we evolve it. I want to pull up the production comparison just to show you, because I did already look at this. So right now we're only expecting about 3.22 skill triggers per day. However, once we get it to, I'm just gonna say 25, and then turn it into a Drifblim, 5.75 triggers per day. The good thing about that is we're getting pretty close to our maximum very early on. Helping Speed S is at level 75. So I haven't seen this, 6.27. So we're getting about another 0.5 skill triggers per day once we get to Helping Speed S. But that is a long ways away. We're not really worried about that one. I just wanted to show you that to show that even at level 25, it's very close to its top amount of skill triggers per day. And granted, this one still is not optimal, just like my Dedenne. It could have a main skill up nature, but it doesn't. So unfortunately, we're only working with the double skill triggers. However, that's still going to be quite a lot. If you get one that's got triple skill triggers, maybe you're going to see a lot, or you're probably, no, let me take that back. Not probably, or maybe, you will see better results than I will with only double skill triggers. But that's another reason why I'm only investing in this one slowly, because if it does work out and it's looking pretty good, I would like to hunt one that does have that double trigger or that triple trigger, but that is going to be very hard to find. We already have a really good one. We can make do with it. So let's see. Out of curiosity, I didn't look at this. Let's go to level 25. 5.75 per day. If we had gotten lucky and gotten main skill chance up, let's see. Let's just say sassy for now. 6.58. So really not a huge difference. Only about a 3/4 skill triggers per day difference. It is a difference and it will add up over time, but it's not a huge difference. So we're still doing pretty good. All right, that said, let's go ahead and stop waffling on. Let's actually invest in this thing. We need to be at level 21 before we can evolve it, but we also definitely want to get to level 25, so that's gonna happen. Let's see, we do not have enough candies. All right, well, time to go to the EXP calculator. Let's go ahead and check out the EXP table. And we are going to plug all this in. Level 13 with, 419. We have not invested in this at all. We have 183 candies. It is going to cost us 19 more handy candies to get to level 25. And then we need, what was it, 40 candies? Yep, 40 candies to evolve it, so that's another 34 potentially. Let's go ahead and do the 19 first. And let's see what that leaves us with. Ooh, I forgot we have ghost type candies. We can use a couple of those. Go ahead and get those out of the way. Really looking for that Cram-O-Matic to come back soon. That would be nice. Okay, so we've got 191 now. So how many small candies do we need? 17. Didn't really help much, but you know, a little bit. And if you're asking why am I not using the medium type candies, it is because I'm saving those for future legendaries. Giratina is a ghost type legendary. I want to save that just in case we get Giratina or whatever other ghost type. I'm drawing a blank on if there's any others. I'm sure there are. Marshtomp. I would love to see Marshtomp come into this game. I feel like Marshtomp is one of my favorite mythicals that does not get a lot of love. I would love to see Marshtomp. Also a ghost type. Potentially. I don't know. They may make it a fighting type in this game, but we don't know. They also might make Giratina a dragon type, so I could be saving these for nothing, but I am saving it for a future ghost type legendary. Anytime you see medium type candies, I'm saving those for legendaries. All right. So we should have enough now to get this to level 25. We're just going exactly to 25. I think we are going to have to use 30. No, we won't need to. We'll only need to use, yep, there we go. Skill unlocked, skill trigger S. We will only need to use 30, oh wow, come on, brain, 33. 33? No, losing it. Okay, 38 divided by 3, 9, we need to use 10. 10? No, that doesn't sound right either. That's 30. 13. There we go. Some of those wrinkles are starting to form finally, but brain is still pretty smooth. We're getting there though, slowly. At least we can evolve it. That's the big thing we wanted to do. We want this Drifloon hopefully to really pan out, and in an effort to try to always keep up with my box. I keep saying this, I really need to keep track of this. Let's go ahead and change this now before we forget. Where are you? Where are you? You're somewhere in there. Somewhere. Too far. That was a weird sound and it kind of threw me off. Where are you? There you are. Level 25 and a Drifloon. Update. Cool. So now, according to production comparison, we should see, oh, let's change that back. Let's change that back. Neutral nature. What was it? Serious? Hardy. Now, if we get nature mints in the game eventually, then we can turn this one into our triple trigger and we will be just living the dream, my dudes. But for now, we should expect realistically 5 skill triggers per day. Probably only gonna get 4 of them today because it's kind of late in the day already, but that's okay. But if we can get 5 per day, I think we'll be doing pretty good. Let's see, no one else has a skill trigger now, but we got a cherry berry, not what I wanted. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. I would make lunch if we had the oil to make it, but we don't. Also, what happened here? Ooh, we got a medal. That's unexpected. Evolving Pokemon, I bet. Oh no, using 21,000 candies to level up Pokemon. I have used too many candies. I'll take that. I found myself not even stockpiling these ingredient tickets, and it's probably a bad way to play the game, but I just don't really like holding on to them and wasting the bag space on them because of how much of a gamble they are. So I just typically use them pretty quick. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, all we needed was oil, didn't get it. Maybe with a large ingredient ticket we would have had a better chance, but as it stands now, these ingredient tickets are not the best. I just use them, and then I'll use those ingredients whenever I need them for a meal. I find it better to just plan accordingly, given where I'm at in the game. But that small unintended rant aside, let's go ahead and move on. Let's grab our missions. We completed 2 of them, got to grade 2, so that's going to give us 1,740 dream shards, and we used 271 candies, which is another 15 diamonds, and we get a Riolu incense, really? I know a lot of people like Riolu too, but I just can't get behind Riolu in this game. So that's kind of unfortunate that that's the one we got, but it is what it is. We are still going to have a good time here. We're not trying too hard. We're not trying to break a record. We're just having fun, seeing what happens. We're starting the Drifloon research. We ran the DEDENNE research for quite a while. I'm pleased with how it turned out. I am hopeful that Drifloon will do the same, except give a more consistent result in terms of strength gained. Like I said, that was one of the complaints that a lot of people had about the DEDENNE strategy, is they didn't like relying on the luck of getting the skill triggers and then hoping that they also got the extra tasty. The other benefit to Drifloon over DEDENNE is that DEDENNE's extra tasty chance can't carry over into the next week. Drifloon, you can get to a good stockpile point where you feel comfortable, like, okay, he's at 8 or 9 or something like that. I'm not going to collect. Maybe it's a Sunday and you've got him at 8 or 9. I'm not going to collect until tomorrow morning and then get the spit up to start the week off strong. So there are pros and cons to both. The biggest pro for DEDENNE is that your strength gains are not capped. Whereas with Drifloon, they're kind of capped based on what level of stockpile you get to and also what level your main skill is. Speaking of, that was one thing I wanted to do. At the very least, I want this to get 1 main skill seed. We're going to put that at level 3 because I don't like level 2. Level 2 just doesn't seem worthwhile at the moment. And, you know, 1 main skill seed is not the worst. We will get it back. We already have 3 of them. It's fine. Let's drop 1 there. Now we've got a level 3 stockpile, which that's how it all breaks down. If we can get to if we can get to stockpile 10, that's 21,500 right there. So that's what I was talking about with the gains being capped. They are capped in a way because you can only get so much from each stockpile and spit up. However, with DEDENNE, your gains aren't really capped because you can make bigger and stronger meals. So in that sense, they are capped, but technically they're capped, but the cap is a lot higher. However, you are playing the RNG game of, do I get an extra tasty this time when I make this really big meal? Is it actually going to go extra tasty? Because I have had really bad odds, and I've seen other people have really bad odds too, where I've had a 70% chance for extra tasty and didn't get it. And that was the end of the week, and all that extra tasty chance and main skill triggers that I got on DEDENNE that week, or leading up to that, completely wasted because we didn't use them. So there's pros and cons to both, and that's why we're going to try out both. We are going to run the experiment. If you would like to run the experiment along with me, that would be fantastic and very welcome. Let us know your results in the comments below so we can kind of pool our data together. It seems like there's not, like I said earlier, there's not a definitive rate at which spit up happens. So maybe we can kind of narrow that down. We do have it between 15 and 30% at the moment. Maybe we can narrow it down a little bit more, especially for those of you that are more spreadsheet inclined. Unlike myself, I am very bad at spreadsheets. I typically just go off of what I remember happening and how I feel like it's actually affected my gameplay. So if you're more inclined to put your numbers down and keep track of everything, even better. But that's going to be the experiment we're going to run for a while. We will have Drifloon on the team for a while. And you know what? We really just need to do it. I know somebody is yelling at like, what? Hey, why haven't you done this? I've told you to do it 500 times. We do need to just go ahead and invest as much as we can into our Masquerada and probably our shiny frog. So let's go ahead and just use up the natural candies that they have. We are going to use a ton of dream shards here, but we needed to do the mission anyway. And we are seeing that they definitely need to get to where they need to be in order for this to work. I would love to have another subskill seed to get that helping speed S, but I don't quite have the points just yet to buy both seeds. And for some reason, my brain is being real dumb and telling me to buy both at the same time. That's probably a failure on my part. But we really desperately need to get this guy as close to level 60 as possible. So let's go ahead and bump this up. At the very least, maybe this will help. And that's a lot of dream shards, but it'll be all right. We'll get them back. I would like to save those dream shards to get that final pot expansion, but at the end of the day, getting that pot expansion does not help me make anything on a daily basis. It does not affect me at all. So we can afford to put it off for a little while. So that's why we're kind of using those dream shards, even though I originally wanted to save them for the pot expansion. For now, we're going to leave it as is. I might eventually work on the Meowscarada with some handy candies, but at this point, we just don't have enough to get it to level 50, so I don't really know if I want to spend them all right now and just try to get as close as possible, or if maybe those handy candies would be better used on something else. Drifloon is what I was going to say, but as we saw, it's already pretty close to its maximum skill trigger value, so I don't think that would really be a smart use of our handy candies. So for now, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. We got the experiment started. We've invested in a couple of members of our team that will really, hopefully is the big keyword there, really help us out in the long run. And we're just going to have to wait and see how things play out. But that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy these videos. A huge shout out to our ace trainers, Illusion, JP, White, and Husky Star. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the channel, click that join button right next to the subscribe button. And while you're at it, click the link to the Discord in the description box. Come and join us, talk about Pokemon Sleep. Let us know your research results in more details in the Discord. Other than that, y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes.